Hi, everyone. Welcome to the video. I'm so glad that you're here. I already see three people on live with me, which is amazing. How we're going to do this video is I have tips for you guys to reduce your eczema in one day. So we're going to start with some of those tips, and then I'm going to move into a couple of questions that you guys asked me on Instagram, and towards the end, I will do live coaching with you guys. So if you want that live coaching, the more information that you can chat me about your specific condition, the better the whole coaching experience will be. So I will have to repeat that a couple of times as people join this call. So if you're watching this recording, just bear with me. But we're going to go ahead and dive into how to reduce your eczema in one day. So, a little bit of history on me. I've had eczema off and on since birth. It has been atopic dermatitis. It's mostly been on like my limbs, like right here has been my most tortured area. My legs are some of my most tortured areas. And it was really bad when I was quite little. It was bad when I was in middle school, so about the age of 12, and it was pretty mild for high school and college. When I turned 22, my eczema flared really, really, really bad, and that's actually something that I commonly hear from a lot of people is around the age of 22, they develop a really bad flare. Hi, Style Alert. Nice to see you today. Remind me what your actual name is. And so I was actually able to reduce my eczema very quickly, like in a span of severe eczema to almost no eczema at all. Hi. And that was in a span of a couple of months. And so going from really severe eczema to healing so quickly, I have a lot of tips for how you guys can reduce your eczema even just in one day. Oh, it is so nice to see you all. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Swati. Hi, Rose. Oh, it's so nice to see you guys today. And I repeated this at the beginning, but if you would like live coaching, if you just want to give me a whole description of what you're going through at the towards the end of the video, we will do a little bit of live coaching. So the more you want to chat to me, the better I can live coach you. So my first tip for reducing your eczema in a day is avoiding inflammatory foods. Now, these aren't foods that are up in the air of whether or not they're inflammatory or not, or whether or not they're good for eczema or not. Like there's some foods, things like spinach, pineapple, tomatoes, goji berries, those are all up in the air where they're obviously healthy foods, they're whole foods, but sometimes people with eczema can't tolerate. We are not talking about those foods. The foods that we're talking about is plain as day, these are inflammatory foods. So, this piece of advice is definitely somebody beginning your journey in reducing your eczema naturally. So, there are very inflammatory oils like canola oil, sunflower oil, safflower oil, palm oil. A lot of fast food will contain things like soy oil, corn oil, vegetable oil, and those are without a doubt inflammatory. So, your very first step is to eliminate things like fast food. Fast food is inflammatory no matter which way we look at it. It has preservatives in it, it has inflammatory oils, really poor quality wheat, poor quality everything. A lot of pesticides are on foods like this. So, taking that step of today, you will not eat fast food, you will not eat any sort of inflammatory food, and changing that into today, I'm going to only eat whole foods. And a whole food is something that isn't processed in any way. So, for example, apples are a whole food, a potato is a whole food, spinach, lettuce, garlic, those are all whole foods, and that's something that you can easily eat today. Lucid Link says canola oil is in a lot of snacks. It's in a ton of snacks. It's terrible. It is in chips. It is in just about any poor quality packaged food you can think of. So, because I have gone through one tip for you guys, I'm gonna snap over to Instagram and answer a Instagram Q&A. If you're not following me on Instagram, it's at Coach Michelle Mills. I put Q&As up on my story every couple of days. I usually answer them straight to my story, but on Wednesdays, I come on here live on YouTube every single Wednesday. So, one question from Burgerlicious15: even with severe eczema, should we exfoliate? Absolutely not. I have a huge issue with exfoliation and eczema. I think that especially with severe eczema, you should never exfoliate. Exfoliation can trigger your itch scratch cycle. The itch scratch cycle is this biological cycle that occurs where you get a sensation of itch from your eczema and you scratch. That scratching basically causes a lot of things to go wrong and you to be itchier. So, any form of scratching, especially when you teeter towards severe eczema, triggers the itch scratch cycle, making you scratch more, making you more itchy. It increases your chances of infection. You'll have open wounds. It's just not a good situation. And so a lot of people exfoliate with a dry brush. That is not for people with severe eczema. So, um, let me just ask. I see someone that said Fridge Foods. Can you tell me how to pronounce your name? I don't want to pronounce it incorrectly, but they put Fridge Foods, FREDG. Fried foods, refined sugar, eggs, dairy, gluten. If you're a beginner to my channel, that's something that I always say to avoid. So if you're somebody who's just starting out, avoiding fridge foods for a short amount of time can allow you to understand whether that's causing you inflammation. Shao, as in shower, Fang, as in vampire fangs, Shao Fang. Oh, thank you so much for that description. And you said you found out about the exfoliation the hard way, like the Dove body wash with beads or a loofah. Not good. Absolutely. Yeah. So, dry brushes, loofahs, anything that's causing friction to your skin can trigger the itch scratch cycle. Dylan Peters says, I quit added sugar, gluten, dairy, noticed a big reduction in eczema, but I do fall back quickly when cravings hit or when I need a fast bite. I don't know how to resist those cravings. That's a really good question to have or thing to wonder. Prepping your food or creating lazy things to do is like my number one way that I'm constantly avoiding eating out. So I always have purple sweet potatoes. They're located right there. And I have an air fryer right there. And I chop up my purple sweet potato. I will put it in my air fryer on 425 Fahrenheit for 15 minutes. And then I have a really quick snack. So let's say you're having a busy day, you don't know what to do. Well, you'll wake up first thing in the morning, and most of us have 15 minutes. So chop up your potato, chuck it in the air fryer. I've never had my potatoes burn because potatoes do take a long time to cook. So while you're getting ready for the day, put them in your air fryer and, go about your day. So going back to the main topic of this video, which is how to reduce your eczema in one day. The second thing that I wrote down is choosing clean water and drinking enough water. So, water is a kind of a lengthy topic because we have a lot of us have tap water, and this tap water often has a lot of really terrible chemicals. So, I see 12 people on right now. Could somebody who is watching live tell me their zip code? And I'm going to tell you some of the things that are found in your water. So, this is a water lookup by ewg.org. It is EWG Tap Water Database. I will put this in the chat. So, oh, okay. I'm just going to use one of the zip codes. You guys can stop now. Thank you for being so quick, though. Okay. I use the zip code 30082. and it says Austell County. I'm just going to click that to just make it easy. So they have detected 9 contaminants, but so there are 9 that exceed EWG's health guidelines and 14 total contaminants, including bromodichloromethane, chloroform. Okay, we've all heard of chloroform. So it is saying that it's 66 times over EWG's health guideline. There is no legal limit. That utility is 26.3 ppb, and what EWG deems as healthy is zero point 0.4 ppb. Okay, so for the person who put for Lucid Links that put that in, getting a water filter or choosing bottled water might actually be your best bet. So this is super unfortunate, but drinking enough water during your day is anti-inflammatory. However, if you're drinking things that have contaminants in it, it's going to cause inflammation. So, whew, I always get so excited when I talk about these things with you guys. um, One of my favorite waters right now, Lucid Link says I drink spring or distilled water. Um, I actually have a water filter that I installed for my fridge. You can also get it installed for your tap, but it is the brand. Oh, shoot. Sorry, guys. I forgot my brand that I use. Hydroviv. And Hydroviv will actually look up your zip code and create a filter specific to the contaminants that your tap water has. So I have Hydroviv in this fridge system right here. And so what I do is I always fill up my water, and then I have mineral drops. So I have trace mineral drops, and these trace mineral drops have things like, I don't want to tell you guys wrong, so I'm going to look it up live with you guys. Trace mineral drops. I use it by the brand uh, trace minerals. And the one that I use contains magnesium. So, when it comes to magnesium, magnesium is an incredible supplement for healing your eczema naturally. Magnesium is used in like over 80 body systems, and a lot of us are often deficient in magnesium. It contains chloride, sodium, potassium, sulfate, lithium, and boron. And not only is it amazing and it's anti inflammatory, and you're getting minerals. A lot of our soil is now depleted of minerals, so we're not getting those minerals, but it also tastes pretty good. So, this is my water. I fill it up and I will put about, I'd say, 5 drops every time I drink one of these. And it tastes great. It gives you your minerals. Drinking enough water during the day is really important for your skin to hydrate the skin, to be anti inflammatory, to get toxins out of your body. So, that is tip number 2, which means we're going to go back to Instagram and I'm going to answer a question from Instagram. What is the root cause of intestinal permeability? I eat raw and juice, but I'm still not regular. So, intestinal permeability, AKA leaky gut. Leaky gut is kind of the street name for the scientific name of intestinal permeability. It basically means that in your gut lining, which is one cell thick, you have these cells that sit together with tight junctions. Intestinal permeability means that these cells are a little bit farther apart. And because of that, it can let microparticles through to your bloodstream. Leaky gut can be caused by a lot of different things. There is not one root cause of intestinal permeability. It can be caused from stress, it can be caused by wheat. So there's something called zonulin, and zonulin controls whether the tight junctions are like this or whether they're like this. And so there's something about wheat that can cause, I have read from doctors that all wheat triggers zonulin, and all wheat causes intestinal permeability. Do I personally believe that? To an extent. I eat sourdough bread, so I still have wheat, but that's completely aside from the point. But that is why going gluten free can help you heal your leaky gut, because if you keep causing leaky gut while you're trying to heal your leaky gut, it just doesn't work. So, why I always recommend bone broth is because it contains a lot of amino acids. It contains a whole lot of stuff that can get your intestines to repair, that one cell thick lining to repair. In regards to this person's question, they say that they eat raw and juice, but they're still not regular. So, eating raw and juicing isn't it doesn't necessarily fix intestinal permeability, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to have regular bowel movements. Something that's really important for bowel movements is prebiotics like chicory root, Jerusalem artichokes, psyllium husk, things like that can absolutely dramatically help your bowel movements. In fact, you're saying you're eating raw and juicing. In that sort of situation, some of our guts are not ready for raw foods. Raw foods can be harder to digest. Whew. Okay. Rose asks, what do you think of intermittent fasting for eczema? Intermittent fasting for true eczema is one of the most beneficial things that you could possibly do. And if you are looking to heal your eczema in one day, intermittent fasting is extremely anti inflammatory. If you have TSW, especially severe beginning stage TSW, they say intermittent fasting is not beneficial because when you have TSW, your blood vessels will be dilated. So if this is a blood vessel and this is normal, dilating means it's getting larger. And so intermittent fasting can cause your blood vessels to dilate, which is actually for most people really important for heart health. It's really good for men's health. It's really good for your health in general, but it's just severe beginning stage TSW people cannot tolerate. But that is a absolutely fantastic question. Xiao Feng says, I heard that bone broth is high in, I think you mean to say histamine. In this case, is there a certain type of bone broth that we should go for that won't trigger itching? Not everybody with eczema has a histamine intolerance. People going through TSW, which stands for topical steroid withdrawal, commonly have histamine intolerances um, dealing with your liver. I've personally noticed that generalized eczema, yes, you could have high histamine, but in general, a lot of people do not have a histamine intolerance when they have just eczema. And so something like bone broth will not affect you. However, if you already know that you have a histamine intolerance and you have eczema, which is it's common, I'm not saying that it's not. You can use quercetin. Quercetin is a natural antihistamine. However, while you are healing your eczema, so we are now on tip number 4 if you want to heal your eczema in a day, is to avoid caffeine. Avoid caffeine and take liver detoxing supplements. Glutathione, milk thistle, and quercetin. These are part of the first stage of liver detoxification. However, I recently learned that milk thistle and quercetin can inhibit the production of an enzyme in the liver, which detoxes caffeine. So I highly, highly recommend going without caffeine when you're in the bulk of your healing journey. Um, Yay 70 or 7L says, I quit coffee a month ago, doing so much better without it. Congratulations. I know it's really, really hard to go without coffee. A lot of people are quite addicted to it. Simon asks, how do I know if I'm going through a withdrawal from steroids or just an inflammatory cycle? Just start itching. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky. So I posted to my story. This is something that not a lot of people saw. I know a lot of you guys follow me on Instagram. It was this post, and in the description, it was talking about how to figure out your root cause. So it says to have an eczema tracker, which helps you keep track of just all of these different pieces of your eczema, from how you're sleeping to what you're eating, if you're itching after you're eating, just whatever you're reacting to, and also keeping note of medications you've used and when you've used them. So, to determine whether you're going through a drug withdrawal or whether you're just going through eczema has to do with how long you were on the drug for, when you got off the drug, um, and having an awareness of your body is really important. So, inside of Empowered Eczema, I teach you guys how to listen to your mind, body, and emotions. And what that means is the people who leave my program know whether they're itching from food, whether they're itching from stress, whether they're itching from medication withdrawal. They know how to listen to their body and know what's going on at all times. And so when they have eczema in their future, they know why it's there and they know how to treat it. So I'm currently uh, I'm my applications are currently open for Empowered Eczema. They closed July 17th. Today is July 6th of 2022. And so Empowered Eczema is a 3-month long coaching program where I teach you guys the entire step-by-step process of how to heal, how to understand your eczema, how to listen to your body. I teach you about TSW, stress, candida, overworked liver. We dive into all of that, and I coach you one-on-one through a messenger app. So it's specialized coaching, it's specialized diets, specialized supplements, so that it is to you and your unique condition. So in this, I already have 3 students. I'm only taking 15 for the summer program, and already 2 of the 3 are going through drug withdrawals. So we are working together to get through these drug withdrawals, to figure it out, to heal the body, to get to that place of confidence. Rose asks, what about decaf? So when it comes to candida, a lot of times candida is caused by low stomach acid. So whether the coffee is decaf or non-decaf, or the chocolate is, uh, well, chocolate would also be part of this. Those can all cause low stomach acid. So if you're dealing with candida, staying away from decaf, regular coffee, chocolate, dairy, all of those things can cause low stomach acid, make your candida worse, make your candida reoccurring. So I'm going to go back to Instagram and answer a question there. Favorite lotion for dryness? My number one favorite is moringa oil. When I tell you I have probably the most sensitive skin in the world, I mean it. I cannot put anything on my eczema. Like, I cannot put CeraVe, I cannot put Aveeno, I can't put just about anything on my eczema. In fact, for a while, I couldn't even put coconut oil, shea butter, I couldn't put olive oil, couldn't put avocado oil. For me, moringa oil is so healing and so mild that I am always able to put moringa oil on my flares, and I have stress slash candida induced flares. All right. So I see 16 people on. How are you guys doing today? Are you in the cycle of healing? Are you guys getting worse? How are you guys today? Any quick fixes for pain from bloating, low stomach acid? Yes. Grab yourself a cup, fill it with about that much water, and put about 3 to 5 drops of apple cider vinegar. Sip on it, and you should feel better. It's quite amazing. How to quickly reduce itching due to eating a high histamine food? Yes. Quercetin or milk thistle. Milk thistle and quercetin, they help with histamine. Recommendation for eczema-friendly eye makeup like under eye concealer, eyeshadows, Ilia, I-L-I-A, Ilia everything. I have their eyeshadow on right now, and for a clean, talc-free makeup. It is actually pigmented. I've used Well People's eyeshadow, and it was not very pigmented. I've used, the brand Honest Beauty. They have a really good eyeshadow palette, but Ilia is, like, my number 1. They have such high quality makeup, and I do believe that their makeup does have all colors. At least I remember from looking last time I was looking at their stuff, it should have, like, a whole range of different skin tones. Alright, hi Tutu Sketches, that's a really cute username. Mine has gotten worse recently, and I think it's from stress, but I overly rely on steroids and have had several itch flare-ups in the middle of the night over the last week or 2. Yeah, I'm so sorry you're going through that. I know that that is really difficult. Um, Tutu is my family nickname. That's so cute. Yeah, so I don't know, it's really tricky when it comes to steroids. A lot of people say you have to go cold turkey to successfully get off of steroids, and this is coming from people who have fully recovered from severe TSW. Um, so, uh, one thing that I do tend to talk about a lot is Dupixent for people going through really severe steroid withdrawal. It is kind of like a good bridge to take you from, like, hospitalization, severe all over, infections and oozing. In fact, I'm even sure that Dupixent was created for TSW, not that they would ever say anything like that, but, it is a helpful tool, not saying that I love the drug and not saying that there aren't side effects, but for people who are in such a severe state where their life is on the line, Dupixent can help that sort of bridge. Um, Also, in particular, Tutu, if you wanted to join Empowered Eczema, I coach people through kind of getting off of steroids, through dealing with that severe itch at night, the supplements to take, and all of that. Swati asked, do you still suffer from eczema? So it is off and on, and it is only off and on because of myself. Right now, I do not have eczema, and it is because my habits are in place, and that is the number one expert tip that I have is to get buttoned up habits, to have your habits in place because you can absolutely 100% avoid ever having eczema ever again if you have really good habit. I keep doing this because I'm thinking like habits in the morning, habits at lunch, habits at the end of the day and everything. So if you see me go like that, I mean the full day. So for me, I don't have to have eczema. If I have eczema, it's my own fault. So I am 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I am 5 years, away from my most severe eczema I've ever had. I'm almost certain I will never have severe eczema ever, ever, ever again in my entire life, and it is very under control. So thank you for asking that. Rose says, "I was just approved for Dupixent, but I'm not terribly bad, not sure if I could take it. I just have eczema on my neck and eyes." Do not use that, girl. Mm-mm. You definitely do not need that at all. I will only suggest it for people in that critical condition because Dupixent has its own withdrawals. And a lot of doctors will prescribe you Protopic while you're on Dupixent. And Protopic withdrawal is, I'm pretty sure from what people have told me, just as bad as topical steroid withdrawal. Let's see. In the process of healing, I'm doing an autoimmune protocol for a period of time, but also dealing with COVID. What would you recommend? Because I know that oral meds might make gut issues worse. Oh, I'm so sorry you're dealing with COVID. Hopefully, it is a more mild COVID. When I had that a few weeks ago, I put I was taking Tylenol, which I do not like pain medication, but I was in so much pain. That was the one that I chose. There's a type of pain medication called NSAIDs. I feel like I put this in here all the time. Those are very bad for your gut health and will make your eczema worse. So just be aware of that. Your autoimmune protocol sounds great. When it comes to just recovering from that, I don't know if YouTube is still weird about that, but just get a lot of rest and try to sleep because it's good for your eczema and it's good for healing that. Andrew Dang says, "Hi, Michelle." Hello. Joanne says, "My Oh, I am so sorry to hear that. I'm not gonna say that out loud because that's obviously personal. Um, yes, I'm so sorry to hear that. I wish you all the love and I wish you all the support during this time. So, yes, I am sure it is stress, and I am sure that the stress probably invoked your TSW as well. So, any support that you need from me, just let me know. Um, okay, let's see. I'm gonna go back to answering Instagram questions. What do you think about mineral oil for extremely dry skin with eczema? I hate it. I hate mineral oil, but there's a use for it. Okay. I don't like mineral oil because it doesn't allow for the skin to breathe. However, you can use it strategically. So let's say you put something on that soaks into the skin and is moisturizing to the skin, and then you sealed it with a mineral oil or a Vaseline. That's technically how you would deal with severe dryness. But somebody also asked, do I recommend the non-moisture treatment? I recommend trying to go without moisturizer. For some people, it is extremely beneficial, and I would just try it. I also really appreciate you guys being so kind as a community to Joanne. I'm not going to cry. Okay. I just have to say that. Okay. So, Steph asks, and Steph is probably going to join Empowered Eczema. So, hello to you. A good supplement for Candida. I actually have an entire protocol of supplements with stages of how to use those in Empowered Eczema. So, let's just wait and I'll help you in that way. Somebody asked, how does red light help? So, in my post where I was speaking about it's how to sleep better. I think this is probably reversed for you guys, but eczema at night, how to sleep better. I said use red light. And they wanted to know why that was beneficial. So in my room, I have a color changing light bulb, and I use an app and I can decide which color I want my room to be. So I will go to my room probably around 9 o'clock at night, and around 9:30, I will switch my light to red. Red light mimics a sunset, and it's very relaxing to the body and can help with your circadian rhythm. So, uh, Rose says, "Is red light just a red light bulb or those special red light devices?" What I was referring to is just like a red light bulb and creating a, because this is referring to how to sleep better with eczema. Your circadian rhythm allows for different hormones to raise so that you will sleep, like melatonin. Never, ever, ever take synthetic melatonin. Like, don't ever take the supplement melatonin. We want to induce melatonin. Mushrooms can help natural production, pistachios help natural production of melatonin, but making your circadian rhythm in check helps with melatonin production. And so, red light, because it mimics the sunset, can relax your body and allow for you to get ready for bed. So, staying away from screens and blue lights from the TV is really, really helpful for sleeping at night. As far as red light therapy for eczema, so there's a couple different like light treatments for eczema. UV light treatment is something that like a doctor might recommend. I have heard that it can make it worse. I've heard that it doesn't do much, so that's not something I recommend. Red light therapy, I think is, um, nice. Like, somebody in the chat, said that they got red light a few weeks ago, and it seems to help. It probably will help up to 5%. It's definitely not, like, something that will take you from 0 to 100. So, I'm gonna stay on for about 5 to 10 more minutes. Let's move into coaching. So, if this is where the people who are watching live get to get coaching from me. So any sort of help that you need, if you kind of tell me your condition, I can help you out. Also, Swati, if you're watching, how is your medicine helping you with that parasite? Also, anybody feel free to chat me. This is like our time. Help, itchy neck and it's hot. So the neck, I'm assuming, Rose, that this is TSW. Do I have that right? Probably. Probably. You don't know. Okay. So usually you don't develop eczema on the neck unless it's TSW. Um, so are you currently putting something on it? What moisturizer are you using? Have you taken a shower recently? What have you eaten recently? Because I assume you're saying like it's itchy right now and it's hot. Um, Eucrisa. And did you apply it and then it got itchy and hot? Is that what happened? Also, Swati, that's amazing. I am really happy that that helps because basically, Swati wanted to join Empowered Eczema, and um, she she basically told me her whole story, and her charts came back and said that she had a parasite. And so she's taking, I think it's a parasite. It was something like that. And she's taking medication that specifically targets that, and it's helping. Wait, Swati, so you're taking the Candida tabs even though I told you not to? Rose is saying at night it gets worse. My eyes also when I wake up are slightly swollen. Um, so that's pretty normal. That's kind of like something that just happens. So um what part at night is it getting worse? Also, is it nighttime there for you at the moment? Tutu says, my current flare up is on essentially the beds of my hand nails to the first joint of my finger, and I get small spots of eczema, very random places like my collarbone area and my wrist. Tutu, have you used, oh, I use Epamax and it works great as a moisturizer. Yeah, weird flare-ups, but I reckon I have a sugar addiction, so I need more vegetables. It looks like your your autocorrect is messing with you right now. Um, okay. Oh, Swati, I understand. That does mean that we don't know if it's Candida or if it was the the parasite, but that's okay. As long as you're feeling better, I'm sure we really can't complain too much. I had COVID and quarantine for some reason, my eczema and itchiness went away almost completely, now it's back. So it sounds like stress is a trigger for you, which is a trigger for TSW. So, I think that that says so that's the type of information that's really awesome, for us to know, only because it tells me something informational, which is when you were quarantining and relaxing, you didn't have any like your eczema reduced. And so that means it's very stress related. And so focusing on that stress release every single day, I think is gonna be really important. Like, right now, if you're itchy and hot, doing some breathing techniques might be really, really helpful for you. Um, I just see so many let's see, what are you guys saying? Itchy scalp, use dry baby oil does not really work for me. I noticed that too. You had the best skin while having COVID. So for all of you who are saying when you're relaxing, your eczema is getting better, you are probably the same people whose eczema gets better on vacation, which tells me that it's stress related. Yep. Yep. A lot of you guys are dealing with stress related eczema. So something that you can do is dive into therapy, like self therapy or meditation or lots of breathing techniques. Becoming, and when mentioned before about listening to your mind, body, and emotions, a piece of that is listening to your emotions and your mind, which is understanding when your body is stressed out. Stress eczema, love that for us. um, so for example, I can sit here at my computer and I can get very stressed out and I can start thinking, but I am aware of those things and I'm going to step away now and breathe and take care of myself because I'm noticing that reaction. In fact, one of my very strange stress reactions is that I will sneeze and I will be like, all right, I need to go take like a break and I need to go relax. So, thank you guys for joining me today on this live video. We are 40 minutes in, so I think I'm going to cut this here. I have to go grab some lunch, and I will see you guys next Wednesday. And thank you so much for being so verbal with me, for communicating with me, for supporting each other. And I will talk to you guys next week, or I will chat with you on Instagram. And yeah, all right, guys, thank you so much.